Hello, and welcome back to the Cine Club podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm Billy.
I'm Matthew.
And I'm Rhys. And today we're heading headfirst into the filmography of one of Hollywood's most successful and influential directors, Stephen Spielberg, in celebration of Jaws' 50th anniversary this summer. Out of his catalogue of classics, which is your favourite?
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Okay. Mine is 2005's War of the Worlds.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Fair
Jaws
enough.
is really
It's
good.
different. Yeah, I like
But
that.
War of the Worlds, it is a really weird film, right?
That was Tom Cruise.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise. Yeah, it's a weird casting for that film. First of all, because Tom Cruise is a proper action hero, and it becomes the most because Steven Spielberg, he loves aliens, right? That is that's his defining factor as a director. He loves aliens, and this is the alien film. It's the alien story made into a film. It's a really interesting cultural thing because it was 2003. It's a post 9/11 America, so you see these aliens coming down, and that's why they changed the setting and don't make it a classic late 1800s thing in the British Empire. They make it America instead, so it's a really good cultural study of how the dynamics of power have shifted in the last 200 years. Tom Cruise is great in it as well. He's not doing his normal action hero thing. Instead, he's this really, really flawed character of a father who doesn't really like his kids. He's also divorced. He's got his ex-wife's got a better new husband, and through this story, he's got to
So he's
prove
playing
himself. He's playing himself. Yeah. Before this is himself at the Scientology rapture, I suppose. The aliens are coming down, taking everyone up, and he's trying to
He just
trying to
think
get
they were
himself
making a
taken.
documentary. He was just watching it all happen for real. He was
They tell them the aliens are invisible. That's why you can't see them. They're just invisible. They are there. We're going to put them. We've got this special technology, Tom. We're going to put them in post, right? It's a really faithful adaptation. Has a lot of references to the book as well. It does suffer from some early 2000s CGI at times, but really emotional, quite dark at times, and very good. That's why it's my favourite. War of the Worlds is a story that's quite close to my heart. I just love it for some reason.
Yeah.
And that being a film adaptation that switches everything around. You take a book that's set in the 1890s in England and bring it over to 2003 in I think he's in Boston. No, he's not. He's in Detroit, I think.
Right.
In 2003, and it still works.
Yeah.
It's
That's
brilliant.
pretty cool.
And that's a bit of a testament to Spielberg, I think.
It's definitely one of those films that felt like he'd been sort of working up to that point in his career because, like you say, he loves aliens. I get a feeling War of the Worlds was probably one of those things he was very aware of, and he's another one of those directors who probably grew up watching, all of the 50s Alien Invader films and the original War of the Worlds, which is
Definitely
one of my favourites. I love that film.
Well,
But,
the 50s one.
The
Yeah.
50s one's so good. I really do need to watch the Spielberg one because I love what I know of War of the Worlds. I've never read the book. I love the musical album
Mm-hmm.
and the 50s film. That's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a similar thing where it's it's not set in 1800s England. It's basically just some hick town in America in the 50s with a load of people banding together to fight the aliens and everything.
Mhm.
It's really cool. And that's, it's that sort of the darkness. But yeah, I mean, Close Encounters is kind of we'll probably get onto that more in depth, but that was the first sort of War of the Worlds-esque, but it's not really War of the Worlds. That's just sort of trying to prove aliens are real, and then it's oh shit, they are, and then the film ends, so it's it's kind of
War of the Worlds could easily pick up from that.
Yeah, totally.
Spielberg and his aliens, as I say, he loves them. He's got such a variety with them. E.T.'s lovely. Some people think he's lovely. That's not what I said earlier, but I'll get onto that.
E.T.'s meant to be your pal.
Yeah,
alien,
E.T.'s your friend.
He's a canny little friend.
The Martians are going to traumatize you. They traumatized me as a kid. It's such a scary film. What's scary about it isn't even the tripods themselves. It's how they make people act. There's a really good scene in it. This is where the dark bits of it really hit. Tom Cruise and his family are traveling across America to try and get to his ex-wife and get the kids there. And they found a car. All the electricity, all the power shut down. They've got the one working car, and they reach this street which is just crowded with people trying to get on a ferry. And they try and drive through, but more and more people are getting more and more desperate. Why aren't you letting us in the car? Why aren't you sharing your supplies with us? Everyone's tearing each other apart essentially, and it gets to this really brutal scene where these people just surround the car, bog it down, stop it from moving, and smashing all the windows. Start dragging these people out of the car and take it just for their own survival. People die in that scene just out of the need for survival. It's such a
Yeah,
it's
not
such a
actually
good.
the aliens
It
doing
captures it.
anything,
It's not
yeah.
even the aliens aren't even in that scene.
It's just that sort of.
It's just the
panic
people,
and
yeah.
desperation of the people in a crisis.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It's so scary. Yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
no, cool.
It lost its scariness to me there, because as soon as you said Martians, my mind just went to the Mars attacks for some reason. I just imagined everything you were describing with the stupid big brain things.
It's like Mars attacks, but taken seriously. I think.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Martians are evil and they disintegrate people, but the Martians are scary and they're not like going, "Ah, rah, rah," and biting people's fingers off.
That's the kind of duality of it, isn't it? Because that Mars Attacks, there's another film made by somebody who grew up on all of those alien invader flying saucer films of the 50s, except that one's like a sort of very tongue-in-cheek sort of parody of it, whereas War of the Worlds is like, right, what if we took that same concept but applied massive budget, made it like a total horror film, basically, like exactly what those films were originally proposed as, but they weren't really horror films. They were advertised as horror films, but they weren't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's a good example,
Brilliant film.
and I
Anyone
need to
else?
watch it.
Matthew, your favourite?
Probably. I don't know. It's quite like a basic answer. I would probably say Raiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Raiders is good.
You know,
You can't really go wrong with it, can you?
you can't.
You really can't.
Because I'd seen them when I was quite young. I'd seen all of them, and then I rewatched them. I rewatched all of them a couple of years ago, and then I rewatched Raiders and Temple of Doom about 6 months ago. And I don't know which one I prefer. I know a lot of people prefer Temple of Doom, but I just think Raiders is. Just the opening as well.
It's
I
so
love the
good.
opening so much. I
Yeah,
love
it's like
I think it's just great. Harrison Ford's like the coolest man who's ever lived.
He
I
is.
just
He
think
really
like
is.
he really is. I think Raiders is just like, it's such a consistent film. Like, it's so well paced, and there's like not a single moment of it feels wasted. It's like
You're not bored at all.
No, you're never bored. There's even the moments where they're like sort of sitting them down and doing like the exposition. Even that is quite interesting because it's just the performances of all the characters. You can see the sort of the passion they have for like archaeology and how. I mean, it's a really strange thing. I never really clocked it when I was younger until I watched them more recently. The idea that he is like an adventurer but also a lecturer at like a university. Like,
It's like
Who
for all
knows,
we know,
mate? Yeah, exactly.
for all we know, Steve Cannon's doing this.
he might be
Exactly.
going,
No idea.
flying
He's
around
going
the
like
world.
raiding for film artifacts.
Well,
and
for lost media.
Lost media.
That's where he's getting
class.
your VHS tapes from.
He is, yeah. He's like
Raiders of the Lost Mallrats, dude.
exactly that, running through the charity shop with a boulder coming behind him. But yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like it's just so well shot. It's so well paced. The acting's brilliant. I think I've ummed and ahed with it for years because for a long time Temple of Doom was my favourite, which I mean I thought that was the unpopular opinion, to be honest. I thought Temple of Doom was the one that nobody really liked, but I love Temple of Doom because I thought it was the one that was the most different. It was like, you know, it still had all the sort of Spielbergness of it, where it was like, you know, really well shot, really well paced, and just like a really good adventure film. But it had Short Round, it was like really dark, you know, it was like so different. It's the only one where they're not fighting Nazis. It's like, I mean, you know, it's the sort of dubious racism isn't great.
Yeah, I was going to bring that.
It hasn't
up,
aged that well, which is the only thing that like holds us back from saying, oh, you know, it's like the best one. It's not. But I think the more I rewatch Raiders, the more I think that one's my favourite, mostly because like I say, because it's the first one, so you sort of just go straight in, not that much context, and it works. It works so well for introducing a character, and you know exactly what they're all about straight away, pretty much from the first scene. And like Marion, I really like Karen Allen as Marion. I think she's like a really good, not, you know, like the sort of almost like a Bond girl, but I feel like Indiana Jones does that, where each one has a different like sort of female co-star, but I think she's the best out of all of them. And just there's just so many like bits in it that are just really cool. Like it's just great.
I just can't look at Raiders the same way after, of all things, The Big Bang Theory pointed out that like Raiders, Indiana Jones doesn't actually matter to the plot. It's like everything that happens in the film would happen with or without Indiana Jones, so he has no sort of agency in the plot.
But because the Nazis find the Ark anyway and they open it and then they all die, don't they?
Yeah.
With or without him. Does he not lead them to the right tomb.
He
though.
leads them, yeah, because he's got the staff.
But I
They
think-
had
but
the
I think-
wrong staff.
But I think the only reason that happens is earlier in the film he like throws them off the trail or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's explained as so. Like if he hadn't done that, they would have just had the right thing anyway.
Uh-huh.
But like it is really cool though.
Mhm.
I do like
The throw,
what it is.
yeah, actually, that's a good point. Actually, they throw him off the trail because they use that the creepy one who I always thought was bald, but he's not bald. He has hair. Who burns his hand?
Oh,
He
yeah.
like burns the
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of head of the staff onto his hand,
Mhm.
but then they don't realize it's double sided or something. So they've been using that. But I don't know, doesn't because I guess the fire starts because Indiana Jones shows up and starts shooting them and
Yeah.
lighting things on fire.
Mhm.
So in the in the vaguest sense, I do I can kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah, that's
But,
what
yeah.
that's what I like about Indiana Jones. Though it's this quite grounded, like adventure film
Yeah.
I don't-
until the end
Until
of
it
the.
suddenly isn't,
I don't know
yeah.
about Indiana Jones grounded.
Well,
Like
'cause-
the Uncharted games, they do
Exactly,
the
yeah,
exact same
yeah.
thing.
Like Indiana Jones, the blueprint for Uncharted, I think, and
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. Like they
Pretty
all do that
much.
thing of like exactly like grounded archaeologist bit, and then oh my god, the zombies, monsters, God,
I love it when that
Like,
happens though.
time
'cause-
travel.
Yeah, because there's so many bits in, like, especially in Raiders, where he's like, "Oh, I don't believe in all of that crap," and then it's like the most ominous, computer-generated thunderstorm, and he's like, "Yeah, nothing suspicious about this," and it's like, it's so funny,
and then
like,
he just puts it in a museum. There's like that's what the good combo is. It's that unmatched godly power contained by one guy
Just a
who just wants to
dude, yeah.
preserve stuff and put it in a museum.
yeah, which I really
He's
like.
not even putting it in a museum though.
No, he just put it in a
he's
box,
putting it in a
isn't it?
box and making it like just sticking it in a big storage
Mhm.
warehouse.
Yeah,
It's like when you get around to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm sure they'll crash into one of the boxes and you can see the Ark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
can you
inside
actually?
of the-
chilling.
yeah.
Ah,
It's not even in a museum.
no. Well, would you have that in a
It
museum?
belongs in a
After that?
warehouse.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't want it in a museum
No.
after it's just melted like 1,000 people's faces off, like some
I know
like,
some kid could like
some little
open it.
bastard kid opens it and the entire like museum just gets like melted.
You
Like
just get like the spirits of the damned rushing
Just
rushing
floating
through like
around,
New
yeah.
York or wherever he is.
Just
Call
it
the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters,
Ah,
yeah.
Anyway,
I think
but, yeah.
Ghostbusters is not the power of God. I think that's a bit of a different. It's a different thing. But yeah, that's
I
what,
would watch the shit out of
Oh,
that
yeah.
film, by the way. Ghostbusters, when some meets Indiana Jones, somebody accidentally opens the Ark and they've got to catch all
That's
the
peak.
ghosts.
That's
That'd be
peak, yeah.
awesome.
I think
Sound-
you'd be a bit old by then.
Well, granted. That sounds like it would be like one of those, when they do those like comic crossovers that are like
Yeah.
set at the
Mhm.
time when the film came out. That would be good. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders is a good choice. That's an
Mhm.
awesome film.
I sort of realistically, Schindler's List is probably his best film, but for
Right.
favourites, I flip flop between Jaws and E.T. quite a bit. Jaws is Jaws. It doesn't really need much explanation. I went to watch it again at the cinema for the 50th, and yeah, it's just still as timeless
so
as
good,
ever.
isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And E.T. as well. I just think it's brilliant. I feel like it's popular, but it doesn't tend to get ranked like as his best. People always go straight to Jaws or Schindler's List or Indiana Jones, but I think E.T.'s great. It's a brilliant family film. It's heartwarming. It's sad. It's weird when he starts extending his neck up and down.
yeah, I don't like that.
But yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, I think Jaws is Jaws. It speaks for itself, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Like Spielberg is just that guy. He's made so many like world-changing films. He's made Jaws. He's made Indiana Jones. He's made E.T. He's done so much for the film industry, just like single-handedly. I think
Yeah.
with his name, with his brand, with his trademark, essentially. And Jaws is the first instance of that. It is a really like tight film. It doesn't really have any room for error, I don't think.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like two films put into one, but it
It
still
is.
works because you've got
Yeah.
all the stuff when they're actually in Amity, and then when they go out to sea,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and like towards the end of it, where you get to the Quint's monologue about the Indianapolis and the exchange of the scars and like, the way he lights the scene, and it's like I said in my review of it, if you'd asked us to name a perfect film, I would say Jaws. Everything about it's perfect. The editing, the performances, the direction, cinematography, scoring. It's all just perfect. Like I can't really
Yeah,
explain it any more than that.
yeah. Jaws is it is just that film, like you say.
It is
It
that
speaks
film.
for itself. watching like even like clips of that scene on YouTube where Quint's doing a speech, I find myself getting like drawn into it.
It's so good, isn't it? Yeah,
you get that sucked into it that I didn't realize till the end of the scene that I was like, oh my god, I just stayed and watched that whole scene, which is just the camera staying still while a man's talking at you.
The TikTok mind is blown by the power of Quint's monologue.
I was even more obsessed with his performance after I watched like a behind the scenes documentary, because I didn't even realize he was British. Like Robert Shaw, like he's got like a proper like pronounced accent. He's like got like a really sort of posh accent.
Does he?
Well, he was in the interview when I saw him speaking. Then when you go in and you watch him playing Quint like this, it's like, oh my god, he's like a completely different guy. It's insane.
When I went to see The Shark is Broken, which for those who don't know, that's the stage play they made based off the production of Jaws. In that production,
I didn't see that like that.
Oh, it's so good. You missed out so much. Because Robert Shaw's son plays Robert Shaw in it.
Yeah,
and he is brilliant. Right, the whole show. Robert Shaw's character, he's like struggling with that scene, with the Indianapolis scene. It's a whole bit about his like alcoholism. It like links into his real life and his relationship with everyone else. And then near the end of the show, he tries the scene for like the third time, and he gets it right. He does the whole thing as it is in the film all the way through, and the audience was silent, like stunned, still silence at the end. And that, I think that's the final scene of the play actually.
Yeah,
when he gets it right, and because Robert Shaw dies early. They talk about it. Like we talk about it a lot in the play, I think.
Yeah,
and like it's very much foreshadowed how he's going to die early with alcohol abuse, and him getting that scene right felt like a monumental occasion.
Yeah,
and closing the show with that left everyone in silence, which just shows
really powerful.
How powerful and how good that
particular moment
that bit is in the film. Yeah,
I forgot how much I like Richard Dreyfuss in this film as well.
Oh yeah,
like, I think he's really cool because they could have just made him like the actually like sort of nerdy little one, but he has that, but he's also like a total badass. Like he's always back chatting the other two, and he's quite argumentative, but he's like also the first one to get like straight into it. He'll like go after the sharks. He goes in his little cage. He's like arguably the one who sort of does the most in the whole film.
That is until he like disappears right at the end.
I mean,
of the
yeah,
third
granted,
act.
he just completely disappear and then just comes back. But yeah, I do think I really like that character. I think Hooper's like really cool. So yeah,
I think that's what's good about it. Everyone like the main trio has quite a bit of complexity to them.
Yeah, they all play off each other.
We can't not mention Brody after we've went in on Quentin Hooper. He's great as well.
He is, yeah, totally.
Just this literally fish out of water. He's a New York cop who hates the water, and he's been put in as like in a chief of a quiet island, seaside place, and just you watch him grow throughout the film. It's great. It's great.
It is really.
He learns to fit into his place, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah.
I think that some of that shines through in Jaws 2 as well, maybe.
I've not seen Jaws 2.
But I remember he is back in that one, I think.
Yeah, he is in that one.
He's the only sort of returning main cast member.
For a good reason, I think. We'll not talk about the Jaws sequels much because they are terrible.
They're also not Spielberg films.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
No, the fact I do sort of respect that he came back for that one, but I do think he's really good. I think one of my favourite moments with him in the films, that one where he's doing the dinner and it's just after when the Mrs. Kittner, whose son's just died, and she slaps him and makes a big scene, and the mayor's just there like, I'm so sorry, it wasn't your fault. It's like he's just like, it was all my fault really, but she didn't get mad at me. But then you get that bit later on, and he's got his head in his hands, he's like feeling terrible, but his son starts copying him. And there's that great little moment where like the two of them, and he sort of like that takes him out of the sort of the guilt and the horror of everything he's witnessed and everything that he's going through. Because at that point the shark's still out there, so he knows it's still not done. But it's just like a lush little moment where he's like, he just like sort of remembers actually. I still have, my son's still alive, like I still have a family to look after, I know that's that's not what I meant. But you know what I mean? Like he's still got like sort of it's just like quite a human little sort of moment, but that's probably not the best way to phrase it.
What you meant to say was like, he realised he's still got something to live for.
He's still got something, exactly. Not
screw you, old lady, your son's dead, but I've still got a son.
Not like that. I don't mean like that, but Anyway, it's I think there's just so many little moments like that which I think just build the characters and just sort of create that dynamic that they have. And even just the fact that Hooper shows up with wine after that, like almost like in a similar way to take his mind off it and be like, actually, like, you know, I speak all this shark jargon, but that's not what you want to hear right now.
Well,
like,
it also adds to the contrast between the three of them, because obviously he shows up to the house, 2 bottles of wine and that, and like when they open it, you should let it breathe. It shows the sort of like how he's come from basically with a silver spoon.
Yeah,
in his
he's
mouth.
that sort of like educated college boy, which they kind of wind him up for on the boat and stuff. Which is that's just great, man. It's so good.
It manages to fit a really good like adventure narrative in with a good character narrative as well.
Yeah,
I think that's what makes it work so well. Because again, like you have Hooper and Quint like butting heads with each other.
Yeah. Sort of like a horror. I mean, it's like it also is kind of a horror film as well, to be fair, which I think makes it work.
That's what I feel works with like a lot of Spielberg films. Like War of the Worlds is scary.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is scary. E.T.'s scary in a way.
Yeah, in a way it is.
E.T.'s scary. Fair. Jaws is terrifying. Jaws is really scary.
I mean, like I say,
he plays with horror so well.
That's arguably a Spielberg film, and that's proper horror.
It's a really effective tension builder in Jaws, where it's just like the first kill where you don't see the shark at all. You just see from its perspective going through the water. Then as it slowly builds, you see a little bit more. Like you see its fin briefly when it gets the kid on the lilo. Then like when it's in the pond and it's going through, and you see like a little bit of it as it.
You see the shadow of it quite a lot, don't you? Which I think is brilliant. And then obviously you get the moment where it just comes out the water and you see it for the first time properly. And you know, I mean, that's really iconic now, but it's just the shark just shows up and they all look terrified.
Yeah, because it's so scary.
Because exactly
it's
that.
An unpredictable force of nature.
That's it. It's so clever, and I do think that this is the way this film does horror. It does horror because he hated how the shark looked, which I think that makes it so much more effective, because if it was made nowadays with CGI, you'd see the shark every fucking minute. Like, you literally see in every scene.
Every other shark movie.
Every other shark film, exactly that. Where this one, because it was like sort of low budget and a complete nightmare to make, I think it makes it better at being tense, being a horror film. And and Alien does the same thing as well, which is another thing I could praise that film for, where you don't really see it properly until you do, and then it's like, oh my god, right, I've seen it now, and then they show you, and
then they blow it up,
exactly that. But the way they build up to it, like you say, it's so clever that you just see little bits, and then you see the whole shark, and then they blow it up, like you say.
One of my favourite things, that it isn't like the shark, but when they're first going out to sea, and you've got like the sort of sounds relatively upbeat music, like they're off on the adventure, they're off to kill it. But then the camera pans, and while you see the boat go out, it's framed within
the jaws of a dead shark. Yeah, so cool.
That's what.
Imagine making that like 27 years old. It's like your second feature film or something. That is
how did he do that?
I know. How did he do that?
How is that possible? Well, like people say Citizen Kane's really good.
Yeah, but like
Jaws is better.
Know. Well, I like the one that shot. There's that little brief shot right after, after when they first find the body, and it's just literally a shot of a typewriter typing the words "shark attack."
Yes,
it's like really quiet, and everything else is still going on. They're all like, "Oh, we need bunting, we need butter for the festival or something." They're all talking about random crap, and he's like typing that, and it focuses on that. Yeah, it's just such a like cool way of establishing. Right, here's the stakes. Like, this is what this is going to be about.
This film is Shark Attack.
Attack, exactly that. But it's just so cool.
It's these little details that makes that's why I hold Spielberg to such a high standard, and why I'm so critical of a lot of his newer stuff, which we'll get onto.
Yeah,
it's because like he was doing so well this early on that like.
Yeah,
he set the bar incredibly
so
high. Yeah,
it did nearly kill him though. To be fair, like
he
does say that he still wakes up like in a cold sweat thinking about the production of this film, because it like was the most harrowing thing he ever did or something. Which you can sort of imagine. I guess.
You can probably see that. I've got a couple of like personal stories from Jaws. Obviously, I was afraid of it as a kid. I didn't want to go in the water because of sharks.
Yeah,
still don't. That bit when they're searching for the sailor that's gone missing, I think, and they go underwater.
The face comes out. Yeah.
I remember my mum told us this story when she was watching it with my nana, right, her mum, and my nana had a glass of red wine in her hand at the time when she was watching this. I don't know why she was drinking. She's watching Jaws and drinking red wine.
I mean, that's like that's like the most 70s thing I've ever heard. That
and
like, it's
5 cigarettes between each finger.
And she's watching this film. She's taking a sip of her wine, and this is like the first jump scare ever. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So she gets so scared by this that she flings the wine over her shoulder onto the white wall and stains it. And another bit, when the shark is in the lagoon in the pool with the kid and it goes under the boat.
I
remember being tricked by this film because I was obviously so scared of it as a kid that the shark looked massive to me. It looked
and
huge.
It
like
does still
like
look
a double
massive,
bus,
to
right?
be fair, but yeah.
But then watching it, I'm thinking the shark was never that big. Like the film scared me so much into thinking the shark was bigger than it was.
Well, the thing with Jaws is, I mean, because I had a friend who this was like their favorite film of all time, but they were really into like the study of sharks, and they're like a marine biologist now or something, but they're studying it. But anyway, so she made like really interesting point about how this film basically was like created this sort of postmodern idea that sharks were like killers and that sharks were never like hunted before this film came out, which I don't think was true. I think people were probably still scared of sharks at that point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But the idea, and this is a thing they really go into in that film. I know Quint's monologue's brilliant, but just the whole thing where it's like, the ship was sinking, all these sharks came, there was hundreds of them, they're all gonna eat. Where it's like, I don't really think sharks hunt that extremely, like in real life. I don't know, but she said it was like a whole thing that like...
Yeah, no, as much as I like Jaws, it did set quite a bad precedent for sharks where like there was just a boom in hunting them afterwards and like just a really like hatred of sharks after Jaws. And it still goes on to this day.
Yeah.
Which, it isn't the best. And I'm sure when I watched one of the behind the scenes documentaries, obviously the shots when they were in the cage underneath with the actual shark, that was done by like actual shark experts, and they were sort of a bit so on their involvement after that because of how much
it created like this idea of Jesus Christ, sharks are gonna kill all,
So with the whole scaring people about sharks thing, they're too concerned whether they could, not as much as whether they should.
I see what you did there. Very clever. Well, I guess that leads me nicely on to my favourite Spielberg film, which I think would have to be Jurassic Park.
If you weren't going to say that,
well, I would lead me on nicely onto my favourite Spielberg film, which I think would be E.T.
The BFG.
The BFG, obviously. West Side Story. No. Jurassic Park, because, I mean, as with a lot of these, I could say, what more do I need to say? But that would be stupid, so I'm not going to say that. It is... like a lot of these, it just sets up such a great little... such a mental concept, but, like, it is also something that's quite believable and, like, it has a great message of the whole, like, you shouldn't toy with science because, like, we're not really in control of these things and all of that. But, it also creates... Because, I mean, I read the book not that long ago, and, like, the book's great, but, like, I think Spielberg brought this, like... much more adventurous nature to it, which he does. I mean, Jaws,
that's what I've heard.
Like, that's the thing, like, Jaws is similar, but, like, Jurassic Park's such a, like, sort of fun, grand, like, proper adventure film, whilst also being, a horror film in quite a lot of points, but, it's just got such a good set of characters. They're all much more morally redeeming in the film. They're, like, you just root for them. Like, I mean, I love Sam Neill in a lot of things, but this was the film that made me really like him. I think he's just a great leading man, and I wish he was in more stuff where he played that sort of character. But Jeff Goldblum, everybody loves him in this film. Like, he's so good. But it's dinosaurs. I mean, it's...
Every kid loves dinosaurs.
Every kid loves dinosaurs.
That's why it's so iconic, I think.
Exactly that, because this was in the same... This basically had the opposite effect to Jaws, where this, like, made suddenly everybody in the 90s love dinosaurs, and that was why there was so many, like, dinosaur-related things that just came out in the 90s, but...
That's so weird, because you have Jaws, which is a film about a big monster with a big mouth and big teeth eating people. And everyone hates sharks.
Everyone hates sharks.
And then you have Jurassic Park, which is a film about a big monster with big teeth and big mouth eating people.
Yeah.
And everyone loves dinosaurs.
But it's
because dinosaurs are extinct.
They're extinct,
because we're safe from dinosaurs.
So there was no threat of you just going in the
walking in the forest,
walking in the forest and getting eaten by a
driving to uni and get attacked by velociraptors on the road.
Yeah.
Imagine. But I love like the world building of it as well, because I love the fact that it's like it is all contained on this island, and the fact that they've like got all of this. I mean, obviously at the time it was all fake merch. It's all now real merch because it was so popular. But like they have all this fake merchandise for this sort of fake theme park, and you know, you get all of those like in, I guess, the sort of Quint's monologue equivalent. You get that that bit. Well, Brit. It is the Richard Attenborough, who is John Hammond. He's really, really good. But that little sort of exchange with him and Ellie, when they're like talking about, and he's like talking about the flea circus, and he's saying about how all his life he's wanted to make something, you know, that's real and it can really impress people. But it's like that whole idea of, oh, well, the real illusion is that you're in control of this, because you're not.
Mhm.
Look at them eating your pals. Like,
Yeah.
this is not good. But it's just, like I say, it's quite hard to describe
That's why
why
I feel
it's
like a
so
lot of the
good.
later ones are lost. They became more of an action spectacle rather than just
Yeah.
like focusing on the drama of it
Yeah,
all as
exactly
well.
that. Because like Jurassic Park still has plenty of spectacle. Like there's brilliant scenes, like which are like, you know, tense horror bits, or
When
like
you first see the T-Rex, that's probably the most spectacle filled
it's
bit.
so good. Yeah, like that bit is just brilliant.
It
when-
looks so good still as well.
It really does. How the
Yeah.
CGI has aged that well, I really
Mhm.
don't know. I mean, ILM were just on some sort of magic special effects
Yeah.
crack at that time, and like everything they did was just perfect.
Mhm.
But yeah, the effects are really, really good. But I like the fact that it's CGI when it needs to be, but then still practical when it can be.
Yeah.
So like that bit where they're in the kitchen with the velociraptors, which is another, you know, really, really good bit.
Mhm.
Every time you see like the sort of like velociraptor claws or like feet or something
Yeah.
practical that's touching something, that's like just a dude, like that's just
Yeah,
a
it's
dude's
just a
arm
guy in
or
a
a
suit,
dude's
right?
leg.
Mhm.
But then when you see the full body of the velociraptors like jumping about, that's
Mhm.
CGI, and it, you know, it's so believable. Like it really works.
I think it
So-
really is a good lesson in how to use CGI because it knows the limits of both, like
exactly
mediums.
that. Yeah,
Because
it balances it perfectly.
CGI
So-
was a great shot. It was a good shout for when you first see the dinosaurs, when you first see the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
And everyone's minds went, this was the 90s, and no one had seen a computer.
No, well
generated
that's
image
it.
before.
I mean, T2 was sort of that was kind of the baseline where it was like, oh, that's like really impressive. I wonder if they can do more with that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, dinosaurs, and it's really cool.
Because T2 hasn't aged the best.
It hasn't
in
aged
the
as
looks
well.
of that.
Yeah.
But making a dinosaur in daytime CGI is harder than
Yeah,
nighttime
exactly
CGI.
that.
And
Totally.
making it still look good and look impressive now.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
And you see loads of dinosaurs
Oh,
in
you
this
see so
film
many
as well. Like you
dinosaurs,
see them really often,
Mhm.
and it does at no point does it look janky or dated. Like
Yeah.
you say, it's really cool.
And then there's like 7 sequels, which also show you more
Which-
dinosaurs and
yeah,
somehow
I
get
mean-
worse every time.
Which are all crap.
yeah. Lost World's all right. There's some redeeming.
Oh, I love the
Fine.
Spinosaurus.
The first Jurassic World's fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
Spinosaurus in 3 is pretty cool,
Yeah,
but the rest
just
of the film's terrible.
Yeah, 3's
but-
pretty crap. Haven't seen the second Jurassic World. The
Third
third
one.
one was awful.
It was really bad.
And the new one's pretty crap,
Mhm.
crap as well.
I think Jurassic World picks up on the concept of like not having control of the park quite well though.
yeah,
With the
Well, yeah, the first
Indominus
one's
Rex.
fine.
Yeah. It's not as good as the
It's not as
original,
good.
but
It's
sort of
just
like a sort of slightly worse version of the original Jurassic.
Yeah,
it's just like a
essentially.
generic action film, but yeah.
I like the Lego game and the T-Rex and the Chris Pratt.
I
You
feel
like
like
the
we've
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt.
I feel like we've not mentioned one of the other reasons why Spielberg's so good though, and I was just thinking of this when you were talking about the bit where they see the dinosaurs for the first time.
Oh,
John
yeah.
Williams music.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
God, yeah.
these films would not be anywhere near as good, I don't think. I mean, they would still be really good, but I think without the scores that you just associate.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was the master of knowing. John Williams was just like the best composer, and it's like, well, why would I want to use anyone else? Let's
Yeah.
just get him again. And you know, he just all of these like themes that you just associate with these films, like they're still really memorable. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I mean, but that applies to Jaws, E.T. especially. I feel like that soundtrack is so good.
What's iconic from the ET soundtrack? The beginning bit that felt really ominous.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not the
That.
beginning bit. That's like that's when
Oh,
they're
no.
flying off on the bikes.
Oh right, but I remember the beginning bit and I was like, why is this a horror movie?
I like the entire last act of E.T. The music all the way through that is like it's
It's
like
really
some of the
good.
most like
Yeah.
emotionally stirring music I think I've ever heard in a film. It's just so
I
good.
paid more attention to Jaws' soundtrack this time round, not just the dum.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the other bits of it as well is really good. And it's like a really unexpected choice. I think like with the like when I was saying when they were going out to sea on the boat, it's like quite
it's really adventurous.
Yeah, it's
isn't
really
it, when
adventurous,
it's
not
not being really tense. It's
but that sort of contrast with what I was saying before with the framing of the jaws. It's like, but
it all works
Yeah,
in tandem
yeah.
to create like that sort of
Yeah.
vibe. It
That's
just-
what I think Steven Spielberg gets really well. He gets that horror with that adventure.
yeah, it's
really
yes,
well.
it's both. You know, 'cause it's
adventure,
like-
but with a sense of foreboding.
Mhm,
exactly
mhm.
that.
Even E.T. I'm going to talk a bit more about E.T. now because I think it needs appreciation because
Okay.
we've kind of beat around the bush with it for a bit.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
I mean, it is a classic.
it's-
I'm
So.
sat here with my ET
Yeah,
passport.
E.T. passport to go
I
to
wish
E.T.
Ready to go
I'd
back to
to
the
go to
Green
E.T.
Planet.
land.
I wish
Back to the
I'd
Green
nicked
Planet
one
with
of
Botanicus
them. Botanicus.
all of E.T.'s friends, as you keep calling them.
They're Horace friends.
They're his
They
friends,
are,
but
they're
they're
his
weird
pals.
plant hybrid monsters that
They
look
are
like they're in
pretty
pain.
terrifying. Like they're even worse when you see them in person.
Exactly.
I didn't quite appreciate just how like rubbery and creepy they were until I was
'Cause-
like face to face with the Botanicus.
The shots are really like an E.T. The effects are really good. He's like if R2-D2 was made of skin. That's what I like about it.
That's genuine. Get that on a t-shirt.
There you go.
Wow.
There's Rhys's
There's the
t-shirt.
latest
bizarre
catchphrase.
T-shirt number 7.
He's like R2-D2 if he had skin.
He
I
is.
mean,
He's
I see. I
he's a
wouldn't
little
care,
like
but I totally
he's a
see
little
what you
wobbly
mean,
thing.
yeah.
like
He is like
the best shots are him like stumbling around like because he can't really
when
move.
he's lying in the middle of the stream, looking like a washed out tin of meat.
Looking like he's in like a true crime documentary. Like he's just like he's been murdered a week ago and they just found him.
I know what you mean.
Oh God, how did he even get there? That's what I'm wondering. What took him there? Why do you just think I'm going to die in
An
this
eagle
stream now,
picked him up
guys?
when he was
Bye.
out in the back garden.
I love that it's when they dress him up and he's like disguising himself
Yeah.
with all of the other like
Mhm.
cuddly toys in the cupboard, as if you wouldn't notice.
As if you wouldn't notice the
terrifying,
horrible leathery
rubbery,
skinned freak
bong-eyed
there.
thing looking
God.
back at you like.
He
Stop
is?
being so rude to
No,
E.T.
I think he's really
you,
weird.
You can say you hate him.
I do kind of. Well, I don't hate him anymore. I think he's just a bit weird. Like, there's a few shots
Like I
where
said-
where you don't. Where it's before they really get used to showing you ET. It's when Elliot's leading him inside the house with the jelly beans,
with
and
the,
you see the shots, and it's just a guy's hands.
Yeah,
like
it's like
grabbing
when
these jelly beans.
he's like casts this really strange silhouette
He
where
does.
it's like this kid silhouette looking in wonder, and then this like sort of like funny little thing like,
He's
and I know that's sort of the
like
whole
the old
point.
man from
but
like 8 Crazy Nights. It just feels like he's following you.
Yeah.
If
If you
It's
saw
the
E.T. in
fingers,
your
I
shed, what
think.
would you do?
if I had, I don't know, I'd probably think.
if
what
you
for
found
him?
ET in your shed,
Have you seen? Because do you know Greg Davies, the comedian?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a good take on E.T. where he said if he saw E.T., he said like Elliot's a better man than him because if he saw E.T. in a shed, he'd smash his head in with a shovel. I was like,
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ! What do you mean? Well, yeah,
You'd give him,
E.T..
give him a benefit of the doubt. But
Would you?
yeah.
If he got
No, until he's
Well,
not
I think,
speaking.
like I say, depending on what he does, if he's like looking all like sort of like
if
harmless
he's like
and gentle,
curious and
it's that, like I said, it's the thing with the fingers that bothers me. I think it's because it's because he's they must have put
It's
quite a
the
lot.
thing with the thing.
Well, they
I
must
think-
have put quite a lot of budget into the animatronic hands.
Uh-huh.
So whenever like they get a chance to like make like whenever he looks shocked, like
Mhm.
obviously his head goes up, but then he's like fingers start
Yeah.
moving.
It's
as
the
well.
hands
like,
and the neck they're really proud of. It's like in like a
Exactly
cartoon
that.
when someone's trying to work out how to use a car and they start pressing all the buttons and all the wipers start going.
Yeah.
It starts flashing. Like they've just got like a freak out button on ET. They just press the back of the suit and he starts like writhing about.
That's exactly what it's like.
I
yeah.
love it because it's a lovely like heartfelt, fun aliens in the attic type thing.
Yeah,
why am I
it is
comparing
lush
ET to
and-
aliens in the attic, not the other way around?
It's probably one
Um,
of the first films that did that sort of
yeah,
thing
it
as
is
well.
the
Because like,
there's a weird alien in my house and I've got to hide it from my mum. and
who's
dad's
like,
thing.
who's now my friend, which
Uh-huh.
is like, yeah.
And
that
then
was
they got like, what was it? Mark and Me. That's another one.
oh god, yeah. Well, Mark and Me's like the ultimate
Uh-huh.
ET clone. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Snide E.T. isn't it?
Yeah,
Snide ET.
and then
Wu-Tang.
and then in the third act, it becomes this strange medical drama where you've got ET that's like covered him in flour or whatever they've done to him, and he's really
it
really
gets
pale.
really intense by the end
Like,
as well.
there's
Like,
that-
the
there's that-
whole.
That like fake news thing a while ago of that the alien they found in the desert,
Oh,
and it's just like
yeah.
it's just like a stone cut out of alien just like lying on a bed.
Yeah,
That's surely what the model that
Can you
after, right?
please tell everyone who's listening why you described that bit in
Oh, yeah,
E.T.
the bit-
as,
the bit
which
where
had me in stitches.
ET, like he's on his last legs, he's dying, and his heart rate monitor just like starts going boop 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 boop, and they start like all the doctors start scrambling. It's like an episode of House. It's really
When
really
ET flat lines in a kid's film.
They start like doing chest compressions.
It is mental, isn't it?
It's awful.
And Elliot's crying.
Elliot's screaming and crying.
It's terrifying, really. I mean, I remember as a kid watching this and not really understand like the emotional significance, but just being traumatized by the fact that he like totally changes color as well.
I know
he's
like he looks dead.
He's like, they really put a lot of effort into making that cuddly, friendly alien look fucking dead on a hospital bed.
There's a video I saw on YouTube. I'd completely forgot about it, but looking back, it's the funniest thing ever. Somebody pranks the child by getting the whole film E.T., but the at the end. So when he dies in hospital, it comes up saying directed by Stephen Spielberg.
That's it. That is harsh.
It like gets so realistic because again they start like defibrillating him, giving him CPR. Someone gives him mouth to mouth at one point. I'd hate to be that person. Giving this crusty, dry, dead alien mouth to mouth, right?
Oh yeah.
And they inject him with all sorts of fluids to try and bring him back. They say, sorry, there's nothing we can do for him. They'd mark the time and pronounce him dead. Right, which is so much. They could have just said. They could have made it really emotional, dragged Elliot away, kept it from his perspective, and like, no, he's gone. And he just like turns up later, right? But no, they watch the whole process of trying to save this alien's life and trying to keep him alive, and then they put him in a body bag and put him in a fridge.
That's what messed me up.
That is the worst bit of it when Elliot comes back and he's with the doctor.
It's awful, isn't it?
Open the fridge and there's E.T.'s silhouette in a body bag that's still clear. You can see his eyes like have been closed. No, I think they're still open. Actually, I think his eyes are still open.
Oh my god!
And he's pale. He's frozen. And then he just gets back up. That must be a trauma.
But then he like comes back to life and he like unzips the bag and he's like,
he's really energetic.
Yeah, he's like really energetic. He's like on crack at that point. Like
that'd be a really traumatizing experience for E.T. Like
whenever
you hear about a person
dying,
exactly. Whenever you hear about a person dying and then coming back to life, like they get like buried alive or something, it messes them up for the rest of life.
You know, you've just made
he's buzzing when he comes back.
You've put that image in my head now of the E.T. the ride, him having to sit down and explain to all of them horrible rubbery creatures what was your experience like on Earth. E.T. died.
I saw the light Botanicus. I saw the light.
He saw E.T. God.
Okay, moving on. Moving on.
He's also had a fair few modern releases to varying degrees of success. What do you think of them?
Tintin's good.
Oh, Tintin's great.
That was a good film,
Tintin.
actually. I forgot about that one.
I was looking through the filmography. I was like, oh shit. I was like, Tintin's really good.
Well, like, I feel like a lot of his more modern stuff I haven't actually seen.
No, never.
Like, I haven't seen Minority Report or whatever. But it's like the few modern things that I have seen from him, I haven't enjoyed. Like, what are you doing, Stephen? Why are you making the BFG?
Well, yeah, I mean, some of it's definitely like just to pay the bills, but I think,
but like he's like the Hollywood director.
Yeah,
How
what's he saving up for?
He's probably getting like dividends from Universal every time somebody enters the name on that friggin' ride. Like, how
I know.
Why does he need to go out and make this crap?
I don't know. Maybe he might just like making films.
Has he been divorced recently or something?
Well, he might
have done that.
Well, yeah, he likes making films, but like some of these films just don't seem like a Spielberg film.
I know, yeah.
Most recent one
Fableman's probably.
Did he do the last Indiana Jones?
No, that was James Mangold who did Logan.
He's making a new one 2026 though. It's called The Dish. Ooh. Guess what? It's about aliens.
Oh, get
wow,
it.
Stephen, you're very original. I think though he's proven his point though.
What
that he can make the best films
the alien man, isn't he?
ever. Yeah, he's the alien man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
we had the whole McClunky conversation. In that episode because it was like Spielberg and George Lucas were like deciding
There's only
on
so
whether
much
to
you
make
can kick
aliens
about
or
with
not.
George Lucas without getting influence to make stuff about aliens.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I think that's what's so weird about like Close Encounters though, because that was right after Star Wars, and that's like it's like anti-Star Wars 101. It's basically just Richard Dreyfuss losing his mind.
Yeah,
for like
it is
2
Richard
hours.
Dreyfuss, isn't it?
It is Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss losing his rag and basically saying, I hate me family. I'm going to go live with the aliens instead.
Yeah.
That's exactly what your dad would do as well. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is just the Elliot family biopic.
So what is the cutoff point for Spielberg's good stuff then? I say Crystal Skull.
Do you reckon 2009?
Yeah.
Crystal Skull. We
had Tintin after that and Warhol.
Crystal Skull's fine. I wouldn't call it like a good film.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've heard like this is why I kind of wish I'd seen AI and Minority Report, because they're both apparently like really like good but also really dark films about like basically like what he does with aliens, but with robots instead. But like AI is like, you know, like some kid basically like having a Pinocchio story and then realizing he's a robot or something like that. And he's done all those like the war films as well. I mean, you've like you say, you've mentioned Schindler's List, but Saving Private Ryan, that's another one I've not seen.
War Horse.
Yeah, War Horse as well.
Wow.
I think
what can you even say about War Horse? It's like it doesn't even feel like a Spielberg film again. It's like
that's another one I think. Yeah, it's just
it's
pay the
like,
bills.
Yeah, like a random British director would have done, and it would have been released like under Channel 4 Films or something.
Yeah. It was on the telly at work. It's that like that kind of film that it catches Sunday night on ITV.
Yeah, like on ITV, or they'd put it on at Christmas.
Yeah. Because it's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it. It's got like a proper.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it?
I don't even remember who's in it. I thought Tom Hiddleston was in it.
Speaking of ones that are really good that come on at Christmas, Catch Me If You Can. I think there's another one that people usually forget about. That's a really good Spielberg film.
Very quite good.
That's like, I mean, it's quite long, but it's just, you know, it's a really basic premise taken and made very like Spielberg-y.
It looks good from what I've seen of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I must admit, I've never actually sat and watched it all the way through, but I feel like I've seen enough of it to piece together the entire film because it's always on telly. And I do really like what I've seen of that. I thought the West Side Story remake was pretty good for what it was.
I wanted to watch it for Rachel Ziegler, but then I also thought, what's he called? Ansel Elgort's in it, so I was like, I don't really want to watch that because of him.
I thought it was
in Baby Driver.
Oh, is he the main guy in Baby Driver?
Yeah, he's a bit dodgy now, but great. Yeah. She was really good in it. I mean, he was fine in it. That I can't remember what the fella, you know, the fella from Challengers, the one who's not Josh O'Connor,
vaguely.
Mike Feist or whatever. He was in it. He was pretty good in it. Ariana DeBose. It was a good cast, and it was another one of those almost a bit like how Quentin Tarantino had like the current face of Hollywood all just like appearing in brief roles in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like a lot of the people who were in that West Side Story film are like the big profitable actors now, like Rachel Ziegler especially. She's like, you know, the people's princess and everything. And Fabelmans, I like Fabelmans. I thought that was a really
wasn't that like
film.
A loose film about his life?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. It was basically to spend 20-30 years making films about aliens and then finally cash in on your traumatizing childhood like towards the end of your career.
Yeah, well, he's got
David Lynch at the end of that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
David Lynch plays John Ford at the end of it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a brilliant.
Where's the horizon? I've seen that bit.
That whole like monologue about the horizon, and then when it goes outside into like it's the end final shot of the film, and it's him walking down through the studios. Then the camera moves up
and like corrects to follow the advice that John Ford
just
gave
really
us.
Good.
It's so clever, and it's so many bits in it like that where it's so aware of what it is that it's like a film about a dude who loves making films by a dude who's really good at making films, and like it, you know, it's quite that meta in a way, but
that is the sort of like. When I talk about Spielberg setting the bar really high, and like I feel like he hasn't met it with the modern stuff, that is what like getting back to
that one is classic Spielberg, 100%. Yeah,
it's not just the filmmaking that he put; it's the performances he gets out of the cast. Yeah. So like Seth 100%. Rogen's in it, and he's actually really good.
He's like really good in it. He's not insufferable at all. And Paul Dano as well.
Dano
like
is so good.
He's really good in it. Off the
Michelle
back of
Williams
the Riddler
well.
and like even the main kid, I think he's really good.
Yeah.
Like I forget his name, but he was in that Saturday Night thing, which I just watched at the weekend as well. But he's good. I hope he's in more stuff. But that was it was so very, it was very Spielbergy in the way it was, but at the same time it was like quite an emotional. It had like a really good sort of emotional core to it, and the sort of family dynamic was like really, really, you know, it was quite harrowing, but it was just also quite a funny film. There was a lot of things in it that are just. Like there's the whole thing where he has like a girlfriend who's like obsessed with Jesus, and there's like this really like funny dynamic with him, and it's like his first girlfriend, and it's just, you know, it's great. And yeah, like you say, on like a lot of the modern stuff, it's quite memorable, and it's got a lot of stuff that you just care about. And I just remember walking out the cinema seeing that film, being like, you know, it was just like one of those proper life affirming, really like feel good, just like a proper Spielberg film. You know, it's exactly the feeling you want from watching a Spielberg film.
Exactly.
So.
You contrast the feeling you get with that with like walking out with something like, I don't know, Ready Player
Don't say
One.
Ready Player One. I knew you were going to say Ready Player One.
I was waiting to talk about that.
Yeah, because I don't think it's very good.
No, I feel like the executive just went, Stephen, come here, write your name down. Right, okay, you can go. Then
well, it's
then just made the film.
It's one of those films that I enjoyed when I was younger because it's a video game film.
Yeah.
So you can bunch it in with Wreck-It Ralph, which is a good film, and Pixels, where it's just it's a film about video games, and it's there's not many of them. I like that, but then when I went back and looked at it, it's just
slop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just slop. It's reference, thing you know. Look, there's the Arkham Knight. Look, it's all the stuff randomly that Warner Brothers has affiliation with. So that stupid battle at the end where it's just the Iron Giant and Tracer driving down in the DeLorean. It's oh, come on, what are you doing, Stephen?
Yeah,
what is this? You don't even know what Overwatch is. Who's told you to put this in?
I think
he's played Overwatch.
He must be
How old is he now? He's 70, 75, isn't he?
Someone like that.
He likes Call of Duty, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the whole John Carpenter being a massive Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I think you never know. Sometimes there's every chance he is just a big
I get it with him
nerd.
because he's a big gamer. I think he's meant to have a game coming out next year or something.
John
Yes,
Carpenter's
I've seen that. I've seen the trailers for that. Yes,
but it's just to me, it just feels like you're being. It's sensory overload.
It is. I mean, it does go a little bit.
You've got the bit when they're in whatever it is, the garage, and he's cycling through all these things oh, should I be Duran? Should I be Michael Jackson Thriller? And then you've got the TARDIS and the Iron Giant in the background. It's
how about you be original?
Yeah, exactly. What's going on? And then Ben Mendelsohn's Avatar or whatever. I think it's meant to be Clark Kent or something. Because he's got
there's a whole
curl in there.
Yeah, there's a whole thing where they have one of the items is called the Clark Kent glasses, which makes you disguised to everyone else looking at you, which is, I mean, I quite like stuff like that. I know I'm in the minority. I think it is very much
Report.
It's very much it is. You can't see it as it's just advertising everything they own, but at the same time, I mean, I'd rather watch an advert that's crafted into a semi-entertaining film than just watch an advert.
I feel it's just the most egregious scene is when that whatever he's called, Parzival or whatever, is talking to Ben Mendelsohn, and he's got someone in his ear. I know all this, and it's just it feels like he's trying to be. It's one of these "How do you do, my fellow kids" sort of thing. I know all this thing. And you're not cool. You don't know pop culture thing 200. It's shut up.
Well, yeah, kind of. It's I don't know. I do see what you mean. I still think they managed to make quite a good looking film out of it.
It's not terrible. But
it's
not good.
It's not great. I mean, obviously, I'm not comparing it to Jaws or anything. Christ no. But it's still, it's just it is. It's got that plenty of moments where it's oh, this is really entertaining because it's stupid and nerdy, and I like all of these things. But I don't know. I still think the characters are kind of fun. You kind of root for them, and it's a dystopian future with a sort of slightly more light-hearted take on that concept instead of just being it's I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think it is probably nostalgia that is why I like it. But
that's what it was with. Like I said, it was a video game film, so I sort of latched onto it.
Yeah.
Same with Pixels and Wreck-It Ralph, and the first two I can acknowledge now they're not very good films. Wreck-It Ralph still quit.
Wreck-It Ralph's good.
Oh, the first Wreck-It Ralph, I like that one.
Yeah,
That's really good.
It's a shame they never made a sequel, but what can you do?
But yeah.
Is there any other modern? I haven't really talked about Schindler's List, but we've sort of alluded to it. It's a good film. It's a great film. It's just sort of not really one that you can.
It's quite hard to compare it to all of the others because
it's just harrowing and crafted insanely well, but you can't really talk about it in a light-hearted setting like this is.
It's very much an outlier compared to a lot of his other stuff, which appeals to families and families as well as film nerds, I think. But yeah,
good film though.
I need to watch it.
So do I, actually.
I've not seen it.
We were both going good film, and then now we're not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard it's good, but it's too harrowing to watch.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's one of those things where you sit down, it's right, I fancy a Spielberg film. What am I going to watch?
Schindler's List.
Nobody
Nobody
would settle on Schindler's List unless you really wanted, unless you wanted.
It's when it captures you in that mood where you want to broaden your horizons.
Yeah, exactly.
It's and then you're watching it. Oh my god, that was horrible.
I know. That's it. That's usually the mood that I find myself watching Scorsese films in. Where I don't really want to watch this, but everybody says I need to, so I'm going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. Okay.
Well, I think that's all the escaped dinosaurs and extraterrestrials we have time for in this episode. Now we pose a question to you. Which is your favourite Spielberg film? Get in touch with us at cineclub.podcast@sparksunderland.com.
And make sure to check out our socials at the.cineclub.podcast _spark on Instagram, at the.cineclub.podcast on TikTok, or the Cineclub Podcast on Facebook. They're all good ways to keep up to date on the latest podcast developments.
As always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, as well as being edited by Emily Main. Special thanks to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler and Richard Berry. Reminder that our shark hunters and archaeologists this week have been me, Jake,
me, Billy,
me, Matthew,
and me, Rhys. This has been a Cineclub production for Spark. Thanks for listening.